Hey guys, Patty's Movie Reviews. Tonight we're doing a brand new review on a movie that's currently in theaters. It's called Child's Play, and it's a remake, maybe a reimagining of a classic movie from the 80s. Before we go into this, I'm just gonna dive into something that bothers me about movie theaters and purchasing tickets online. Or actually, it's not even that. Anyways, we went to dinner and we bought tickets to see Child's Play. And when we went to the teller, the movie ticket seller, I guess that's called, they said select your seat, and it was a digital screen, and you see the seats that are open and things like this, and you pick two seats or how many ever seats you need, right? So, we picked middle section. What is it? Is it Monday? I think it's Monday. Probably Monday. We picked the seats, and okay, we're sitting there. It's all good. We're laughing. We're like, hey, it's Child's Play. It's a doll's gonna murder people and shit. Getting ready, and all of a sudden, first two people that come in, some nice Japanese people. They come in and they. If you see them walk up, and I'm like, hold my breath. I'm like, there's no way this is about to happen right now. They come in and they sit right next to us, like not even a seat over, right? And I could barely contain myself, and I said, nice choice. And they ended up moving one seat over, but still very obnoxious on my part. But why would you do that? Really, why would you? They had to do the same thing I did. They had to go to the teller and pick the digital seats. They saw two lit up red seats and they picked the seats next to them. Did you want to have a conversation? This is not what movies are for, okay? Next thing I know, next two people that come in, they walk up the stairs, they pass our row. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get sandwiched in here. They sit directly behind us. There's now 6 people in the theater, and it's boom, boom, boom. Okay, Child's Play, brand new movie. What's going on here? It starts off in Vietnam or Indonesia, Philippines, something like that, where they make toys for cheap to sell to America. One of the disgruntled employees, Chucky is now Wi-Fi. I forgot to say that. He's not demonically possessed. I forgot to say that. Sorry. But that's part of this new remake. What happens is he's disgruntled, and he goes, I'll show you, son of a bitches, what toy makers can do. And he turns off all the blockers that the dolls have in terms of listening to their owner and them being commanded by their owner and their wishes. Okay, so the guy does this and then he kills himself. Fast forward. It fast forwards to someone you don't think of as a mother or someone who could even be taken seriously. Her name's Aubrey Plaza. She shows up and she's like a mother, I guess. She's very sarcastic the whole time. She plays Aubrey Plaza. That's cool. On Saturday Night Live. But it's okay. It's no big deal. Anyways, she has a son who's deaf. This is a very hard luck story, I suppose. She works at Walmart. But it's convenient for the plot line because Walmart has Chucky dolls, the brand new ones. You know what I mean? The ones that are corrupted. She sleeps with a warehouse guy and gets a deal on a broken Chucky doll and brings it home to her son. And he's thrilled because the neighborhood kids are finally going to like him. He's usually hanging out in the apartment hallway because Aubrey Plaza is sleeping with a very boring man, and the kid hates how boring he is. He's not violent or abusive or anything. He's just a very boring guy, and he doesn't like the kid, so the kid hates him. So that's going on. And he meets Paperboy from ATL, everybody's favorite. I think he might even be in a Key and Peele movie. So this is a very hot star right now, Paperboy. He's very charismatic. He's one of my favorite actors in this movie. He's like a cop in the neighborhood, and he befriends Andy. Yeah, he's still called Andy, like in the original Child's Play. The kid is called Andy. Let's see what else happens here. Anyways, he realizes Chucky's not the doll he wanted. It has a lot of weird features. Like it hears him mumble stuff and say like, "Oh, I hate that kid" and stuff, and like he'll fuck the kid up and just play pranks and stuff. But then he goes a little farther into it, and he starts talking about how much he hates his mother's boyfriend, her boring boyfriend. He's like, "Oh, he's so boring," right? And he's like, his friends are like, "Hey, why don't we sneak up on him when he's getting a beer out of the fridge," right? And Chucky, the guy's getting a beer out of the fridge. He's like, "Oh, Aubrey Plaza's finally asleep. She's not annoying me right now." So he goes into the go get himself a Budweiser, reaches in, and pulls it out and shuts the fridge door, and Chucky's there, and he's like, "Brr!" And they fucking told him to do that, and all the kids are fucking, "Nah, we're gonna put this on YouTube and get 20 views like Patty." But anyways, yeah, that happens, and then he realized, Chucky's like, the kids love this shit. And what is weird is that like they start watching like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, like they're in there like rocking out to that, right? They're like, "Oh, that's fucking hilarious. That guy got his nuts chopped off." Like crazy shit they did, and like a fucking jackhammer to the head and shit. And they're all laughing about that, even though they're like Stranger Things age. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure how accurate that is. But yeah, so Chucky, his eyes turn red when he starts getting the evil thoughts, so the audience knows. Like, all 6 of us, we were sitting on a corner over there because we were forced to, because they wanted to sit next to people. We were all like, "Woo!" When the red eyes would light up, we were like, I was laughing. But after this, yeah, Chucky realizes these kids are a little bit deranged, and they might want some violence to quench their thirst, and like the entertainment value. And he puts 2 and 2 together. Andy doesn't like the boring boring boyfriend of Aubrey Plaza, and he realizes Andy loves violence, extreme violence. So he severs the head of Aubrey Plaza's boyfriend, and he gifts it to Andy, and he puts it on a fucking watermelon. Okay, this might run a little long. I didn't realize how much was into this movie, but this death is good. The boring boyfriend goes home, and he has his own family. He's just cheating with Aubrey Plaza or something, and he puts his ring back on. He's like, "Hey, guys," and the wife's like, "Go fix the light, Don," or something like that. And he has to go up on the ladder, and it's so hilarious, dude. He's like all pissed off because he had to go home to his family, and he's fixing the Christmas lights on the thing, and the Christmas lights get wrapped around his neck and stuff, just like, he's like, "Oh, this shit," right? But like and they're all lit up, and Chucky kicks the ladder out from under him. It's like a 2-story house, so the guy falls and breaks his what the fuck is that? It's not the femur. Whatever's under the femur, the calf bone. In the comment section, please educate me on that. I forgot what that's called. Anyways, that breaks its compound fracture, and everybody's like, "Oh," even I was like, "Oh shit," but that was awesome. And then Chucky runs his body and head over with a lawnmower, like a manual lawnmower. But anyways, Chucky gifted the head to Andy, and Andy was terrified, and he got rid of Chucky. And then a guy abducts Chucky. This is a little off base, but it did happen in the movie. This movie nearly ran 2 hours long, so I'm doing you a favor now, fans. Creepy guy abducts Chucky, and he hacks into Chucky's insides, the Wi-Fi password and everything, and he's able to look at Aubrey Plaza in the bathroom. This is all the guy wants. Like, I thought he was gonna like program Chucky to kill someone, but instead he used it to get camera access to Aubrey Plaza's ass and bath techniques. So that's cool. So he's watching that, and he started whacking off, and then Chucky woke up and strung the guy up. I don't know how he did it, but the guy ended up hanging above a table saw. It turned at a 90-degree angle, and it was threatening to chop his feet and balls off. We all thought that was going to happen. Everybody's holding their breath in the theater, right? and then he fell on it and it cut all his body apart. It's pretty crazy. Chucky is able to control other Chuckies? That's right. There's a sale, or like a brand new Chucky coming out, and there's this thing that happens, and apocalypse happens at like you remember Tickle Me Elmo, and when all the people are trying to get it for the kids, it's around Christmas time, so everybody wants the Chucky. He turns the Chuckies against the crowd and the people trying to buy it. So a bunch of Chuckies are going after the customers, and there's also a drone with razor blades on it, and it flies in a Paperboy's face. That happened. Yeah. Chucky did die. Andy ended up killing Chucky. Aubrey Plaza almost got killed. She was about to get dropped off a building or something. It didn't happen. And Andy saved her. Yeah, that's about it. You know what? It ended the way it should have. I kind of wish Aubrey Plaza would have met her demise, but that's here nor there. What I want to say about this movie, though, I was talking about it on the way home with Child's Play and stuff like this. I appreciate these type of movies and like old school, like, you know, like a monster or some shit, even though this is like funny. And the first Child's Play was never my favorite Child's Play. And then I was reminded tonight about like Bride of Chucky and how funny that shit was, like all that stuff. And it reminds me of Nightmare on Elm Street. If somebody says to you, I like the first Nightmare on Elm Street, you're like, that's the only one you've seen, obviously. It's kind of all melds together. Like, I kind of like Dream Warriors, and Dream Child is actually one of the best Nightmare on Elm Streets too, but it's all put together throughout the story. Unfortunately, I wasn't super entertained. There wasn't enough funny for me. But at the end of this review, Chucky is getting a 2-star. I thought it was a little earlier. Turns out it's a nice 2-star for Chucky. All right, guys, that's about it. I also saw the trailer for Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I mean, Once Upon a Time in LA. I like that other movie too, with Johnny Depp and Antonio Banderas. But this one's with Leo and Brad Pitt. Looks very good, and it's Quentin Tarantino too. I never saw the full trailer, and looks pretty good. All right, guys.